And with that in mind, I think we are ready to be running Deltarune Chapter 2 by Helix. Take it away.
Hi everyone, what's up? As mentioned, I am Helix. Welcome to the penultimate run of Fastest Furs Fall Fest. Can't believe it. I've heard that some awesome things have been happening, so including donating for this run. This is the final bonus run, so thank you all so much, everyone who donated. Regardless if it was for this run, how great of a cause this is. But anyway, I am not alone here. I have a commentator with me.
Hi, I'm Lori.
Yeah. Lori,
I was just mentioning you.
Yeah,
That's
funnily enough. I was mentioning your amazing PowerPoint skills.
Thank you. I'm so excited. But yeah, I back at our before we were even formed as a team, back when we did Fastest Furs for Life in 2019, I ran Chapter 1 in a race. So I'm very excited to see Chapter 2 showing up, and I'm very glad to be here for it.
I'm glad you're here too. Help me out on comms a lot. So yeah, this is Deltarune Chapter 2 for those who aren't quite familiar with Deltarune, which might be some of you. I doubt it, but you never know. Deltarune Chapter 1 was released on Halloween 2018, sort of as a game you can play after Undertale if you want to. Chapter 1 was meant to be the demo. Chapter 2 was released also for free in September of this year, so very new. And then Chapters 3 through 5 are planned to be released eventually as a paid package. At least that is, I believe, the current plan.
And then there are probably more chapters after 5.
Yeah, chapter selection page has room for 7. Anyway, this game was made by Toby Fox, much like Undertale. I believe this was also made in Game Maker, I'm not quite sure. I would be surprised if that wasn't the case.
I think Chapter 1 was, because I got Game Maker crash logs in Chapter 1, but I haven't seen this game crash yet.
But
like, I would assume it's the same thing.
Yeah, I'd be surprised.
Do we have time for a quick donation before we begin?
Sure, go for it.
All right, we do have a $50 anonymous donation saying, great cause, 10 out of 10 would donate it again, which gets us to a total now of $13,000, hey, Helix number, and $95. And
Wow.
yeah, please make sure to keep on donating while we're still going. We want to make sure to hit an even higher record and give even more money for Trans Lifeline.
So one more quick thing before I begin. Oh geez, I can't speak English. So I will try not to go too much in detail regarding the plot. I really encourage you, if you have not played Deltarune, Chapter 1 or Chapter 2, that you go and play it if you can after this run. It is... these games mean
Deltarune.com.
There you go, thank you. These games mean so much to me, they're so well done, they have so much charm to them, I could not possibly do it justice by just explaining the plot during a speedrun. With that said, let me get started here. How quickly can I type out Fastest Furs?
How much character space do you have in this game?
More than I actually don't know.
This is significantly more than Undertale, right?
Okay. Yeah, no, Undertale at 6.
I'm like, how could you do fastest?
No, you fit the whole thing in here.
Fastest.
All right, so one more thing I need to do. I actually have sticky keys on,
I
need to have Control held down from sticky keys, and I'll explain this in a minute. All right, time begins selecting yes on the name. So, Lori, do you wanna count me down?
Sure, I will go for it. Let's start in 3, 2, 1, go.
All right, here we go. So I have Control held down from sticky keys because it's actually going to mash through text for me at a rate of 15 text boxes per second, which is very nice, saves my hands. The very first thing we're going to do is get up and go right back to bed. I wish I could do that in real life. This skips the prologue, basically saving like 4 minutes. Very helpful thing that was added in, I believe, the most recent patch. It's like a New Game Plus feature. Chapter 1 has this as well.
Yeah, it was in Chapter 1 since the start, but it was like oddly absent from Chapter 2 for like a couple weeks.
Yeah, it was kind of strange. But we are now already into the Dark World, into Cyberfield. The beginning of the run, we're running right into a cutscene here where we see Noelle, and we are also about to meet Queen, the main antagonist of this chapter. So, short little cutscene. Oh boy, what else haven't I gone over? I'm sure there's so much. My mind's drawn a blank. The
beginning of the run is, again, since we're kind of meeting characters, there's not too much happening gameplay-wise.
Yeah, there is a force encounter coming up really soon. It's faster just to fight them, so that's what we're gonna do. Just gonna kind of smack him here. It doesn't really matter if I get crits or not. Super low stakes fight. You might notice that by getting close to attacks, I'm actually gaining TP, or technical points. You need technical points to perform certain actions. This will be way more relevant later in the run. Doesn't really matter for this one since we're just fighting. Yeah. Super easy, quick, introductory battle. And then Rousey just kind of is going to show up here. Sort of like, hey, I had a feeling something was going on. Like, oh, alright, sure, hi. Now we have our full party. I need to hold the run button. There's a run button in this game, which Undertale did not have. It's a very welcome addition. And this is like a really neat rhythm game-ish sort of section. A lot of people like this part. Very easy to dodge them all, thankfully. Though, honestly, even if I got hit, it wouldn't really matter.
Do you still take damage if you get hit in this section?
Yes. Overworld damage is a thing that exists, and it can't kill you outright, but it will like leave you at 1 HP. There is actually a bit of overworld. I think it can kill you if everybody in the party will die.
There's like one section that kills you, but I don't think we see it in the run.
Yeah. But overworld damage will actually be important.
Yeah. I don't really care if I get hit now, because I'm actually going to take a save point soon, and save points will heal me. So, yeah, it really does not matter at all. Taking some specific paths to avoid some encounters. There is a route where you get an intentional encounter to get some more money, but it only saves time if you do something really hard later, and I'm not going to do that. So another quick cutscene here. I'm going to try to quickly explain wrong warps, because they're going to come up pretty soon. After certain cutscenes and after reloading a save, Chris's global interact value is messed up, and this allows us to frame perfectly walk away from a room transition as we are going into it. This spawns us in the default position in the next room rather than at the beginning of the room. And in most situations, the default position is also the beginning of the room. But not in every room. Sometimes this allows for huge skips. So after this little section, I'm going to save and reload and try to do some wrong warps. But first, we get to play Punch-Out!
So when's the summoning salt on this?
Tomorrow.
Are you blindfolded right now?
Unfortunately, no. Could probably.
I don't think it's unfortunate, actually.
I mean,
I think it's going to be good to see later.
Also, I am playing on a keyboard. You're going to see PlayStation-like buttons, because I have a PlayStation controller plugged in that I'm not using. But yeah, I am playing this on a keyboard.
I don't think I've ever seen button prompts in Undertale, or Deltarune.
Me either.
I have not seen any game footage on a console.
Yeah, that's what I was going to suggest. Isn't it on console they might have those, but I have not seen those on PC.
Okay, so I'm also going to unequip Chris's armor real quick. Whoop. Let's see why I'm doing that in a little bit. So save, return to title. I'm going to reload that save to give myself wrong warp state. If I go through a screen transition normally, I lose wrong warp state, so it's really important that I don't do that until after I hit the big skip. Come on. There's the first one. Take a little detour here. So the reason I'm taking this detour is to take some intentional damage from the overworld section. Lori did some foreshadowing earlier.
Yeah. Do you want me to go over what's happening right now?
Yes.
So basically, we're about to get into a fight.
First try.
Nice. We're about to get into a fight with these 3 DJ dudes to try and proceed to the next area. Basically, what you need to do usually is survive enough turns, and you can get everybody to learn how to dance, which will end the fight. You want to make everyone dance to end the fight. However, if Chris specifically dies, the other 2 characters will automatically get revived if they're dead and learn how to dance. So what you do is Helix is going to oh, nice.
Already?
Helix is going to basically, in case that the luck didn't turn out and Chris got hit, kind of make Susie into the tank with the most HP and try and get Chris to die that turn.
Oh, I think I...
And then...
They both danced on the same person. That doesn't matter, though. We're fine.
Yeah, no, you're good. So yeah, no. Making Chris die just makes you learn how to dance even faster. Because usually with Chris, you can only dance one at a time. But now, for the rest of the game, we're going to have S action and R action, so Susie action and Ralsei action, which will kind of give Susie and Ralsei a command that they can do during the fight that's like fight specific.
Also, you might have noticed that Chris was down during
This
that
is
entire
incredible.
sequence.
This is my first time seeing this reference, and I legitimately just am like, oh yeah, Chris is dead. Everyone, let's dance.
That actually was added in a recent patch too. It doesn't happen to any of the other characters as well. Only happens if Chris is down, which is incredible. I think Toby might have done that specifically for us, which is hilarious. Anyway, gotta move on. I'm going to the shop here, gonna sell that armor that I took off of Chris. I don't have any weapons to sell. It's the armor that I'm selling. Oh no, I can't menu. Alright, buy. Auto axe. We're gonna equip this on Susie in a little bit. I'm also gonna take this safety save here, just in case I accidentally run into an encounter, because I am known to accidentally do that. Okay, we're fine. I've hit that encounter way too many times. Gonna play this one safe. Alright, into this next room, gonna take a quick path here just to get over to this corner. I need the arrow from this enemy to hit that little key icon. There we go. And that opens up this path, so now I can go up. And I need to hit all of the little orbs here. Doing this will spawn a treasure chest, which has a weapon for Ralsei, which is actually really important.
Sadly,
I almost missed some.
Oh my goodness. Sadly, in this section, there are 70 of these orbs. I remember the first time I played this, I got 69, and I was like super popped off, but then I realized that that's actually bad.
Yeah. So I'm actually baffled that the DJ section went as well as it did. I got the wrong orbs first try. Chris got knocked out immediately. Like, that was perfect. That is a major, major reset point, and it went perfectly. I'm so happy about that.
Congrats, absolute congrats. Great to hear.
Thank you. Alright. Those wrong warps, by the way, frame perfect. At least most of them. Some can be buffered, but not all of them. Most of them cannot
Love that
be.
word.
This game does run at 30 FPS, so it's a little bit better. And some wrong warps coming up later have cues, but the ones in Cyberfield don't have great cues. Anyway, here's Birdly. We're going to be fighting him pretty soon. Let's get rid of some text. Yeah?
If I may, I kind of want to talk a little bit about this strategy, because this is something I thought was really cool for a really long time. I think even all the way back during certain boss fights in Undertale, there are certain bosses that will give you a spare condition if you get their health down far enough. This usually isn't useful for getting the pacifist route in a fight, because you will be fighting the enemy. And even in Deltarune Chapter 1, dealing enough damage to some enemies and some bosses would give you the Pacify condition, which is a special way to spare enemies that Helix is going to use here, which is a spell that Ralsei can use to instantly spare any tired enemies on the field. Even through Undertale and Chapter 1 of Deltarune, it's never been useful to whittle an enemy's health down to the Pacify point, but that's a fight where it is. So I really like that strat.
Yeah, so the alternate route here that I mentioned where you get some more money to buy both weapons, it's technically faster because you can get 3 turns. You can finish that fight in 3 turns, but I think you have to hit all crits and somehow gain a bunch of TP. It's really hard to do. It just barely works. Anyway, sort of a longer cutscene here. But yeah, I knew that I was able to use Pacify on Birdly as soon as the car that Birdly was in started smoking. So, short little cutscene here of time for probably a quick donation if there is one.
Yeah, we actually have 3, so I'll just go with the largest one we currently have. We actually have 2 from White Paws for the run they just did. Here's the second part of the donation for the 20 deaths. Shout out to Crash6351 for sending the first $60. Again, thanks for having me all. And shout outs to Crash6351 for helping me out with this one. That's $100 from White Paws for their run of VVVVVV.
Neat. Alright, we get to select which character we want to go with. It doesn't actually matter. Susie's going to take Ralsei either way. Also, shout outs to Newbert with that red little dude at the bottom of the screen at the end of the last room. So Chris is actually alone for a little bit. Which is, I don't believe, something we ever saw in Chapter 1. Anyway, we are now into Cyber City. Oh, jeez. Okay. I always get hit by that. Gonna do pop-up skip here. I can get this enemy just sort of stuck on this corner. Yeah, like that. You just don't have to fight it. Which is pretty
That
good.
was very scary because you hit the wall a little bit. And with running in this game, you kind of do have a little bit of a startup. So if you stop running and then start running again, you have to build up speed a tiny bit, and that can spell the end of that skip.
Luckily, that skip is very lenient. I failed it like twice in practice just because I tried to turn the corner too early and I just ran into the wall. So at
It's
least I
one of
didn't do
those.
that.
It's one of those skips that it's like it's not hard, but like it's very chokeable.
Oh, this one as well. How did that not work? It looked like I was in the perfect position. Alright, I'm gonna have to reset the puzzle now. So if I am... if I interact with that block at the same time that I step onto that button, I will retain control of Chris and I can just run out of the room. Didn't quite get it, but that's alright. It is faster to defeat this enemy, so that's what I'm gonna do here. I'm gonna run over, sneak past this guy, go grab the pink ribbon, explain this in a little bit, and run back out. Okay. So we get to deal with more of these little stoplight thingies. So this is a fine time to explain the pink ribbon. It increases the range of gathering TP, essentially, so I don't have to be quite as close to attacks to get TP from them, which can be very, very helpful. Technically not faster, but this is a marathon. I would really prefer some safety.
One of those things where it's like technically not faster, but it's kind of like such good utility that it's like might as well be faster because you're probably going to do it anyways.
It makes one of the last fights so much easier.
Yeah.
So, longer cutscene here. After this cutscene, the very next room there will be a save point, and I'm going to save and reload and go for probably the hardest wrong warp trick in the game.
Oh, you're going for this.
Yes. I hit it in practice today. I hit it in practice yesterday, too. There are cues for it. It's not as bad. But yeah, it's like 5 frame-perfect wrong warps in a row.
Also, I dare anyone who hasn't seen this game to explain what's going on in this cutscene.
Yeah.
I could try.
I would tell you to give it a shot, but I'm about to start the hard thing.
Yeah, I'm not going to. Don't worry. There's already been too much for me to actually explain. That's saying a lot.
It's almost too much for me at certain points. And y'all know how quickly I can talk. Alright, here we go. Save. Return to title. Okay, first one. Wow. That was really... I got that one really quickly. Usually I like set it up a little bit, but the cue for that one's really good, so... Come on. There we go. Oh, my way, Noel. I'm using the... Oh, I missed it. Okay, it's fine. I'm just gonna keep going. I can use the background as cues to know when to turn around, but yeah, very difficult strat. There's gonna be a puzzle coming up, not this one, but pretty soon, which happens to be very long. Should I just press down at the second one? But yeah, you can manage to skip the whole thing with this skip. So there's going to be a little maze here full of cheese. If I touch the cheese, then I'm going to get into an encounter, and we don't want that to happen. Go on, Lori?
I was just going to explain the cheese and then leading up to the room that you were actually going to skip, because that was Annoying Mouse Room 2. This is Annoying Mouse Room 3, where basically Helix is going to have to do a bunch of like very small mouse puzzles in order to get through to the next room.
I didn't mean to press that.
So, in like a perfect world, you would actually skip this entire segment, which is, as you can imagine, very good.
Yeah, so the reason this works is because, you know how wrong warping warps you to the default save point? Well, the default save point, or the default position of the room, there is a save point in this room, and so that's where the default position is, but it is actually across this chasm here that we need to eventually cross. So you just warp over there, and you don't...
It'll spawn in once the puzzle is over. Yeah, it'll spawn in once the puzzle is over.
And there, it's filled in now. Ridley's gonna run off, and then that save point will appear. I don't think I need to take it for any reason, but I am going to just in case.
Yeah, better safe than sorry.
Yeah, I have so much time in this estimate. Because I submitted this when this speedrun was very, very new. I'm gonna interrupt
Submissions
myself.
closed. Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, I'm just gonna interrupt myself to say that this is one of the hardest fights in the entire run. So I'm gonna play smart. This will increase Noelle's attack. I'm gonna get hit by this. Not what I want to do. I need to crash TP. Okay, we're good. Fight, Ice Shock. I'm gonna do that a few more times. Yeah, you were talking about when I submitted this, Lori.
I was gonna say, yeah, no, the submissions closed 2 days after this game came out, so
Yeah.
you literally had 2 days, and
You nailed it.
you nailed it.
I really did. There was also... Remember when I said that we can, like, skip the epilogue and that was added in a patch? Well, that hadn't happened by the time I submitted this, so my estimate is, like, 4 or 5 minutes higher than it even needs to be. I'm getting hit a ton, so... But we should be fine now. I think this is the last... Yeah, that was the last turn. Alright, I lived. That's the important thing.
That actually is
play that very well, but...
one of the scarier fights in the run, like, in terms of actually taking hit and dying.
Yeah. So I'm actually going to unequip this silver watch from Noelle. Whoops, and then completely messed up my menuing again. There we go. The silver watch actually makes turns and very, very slightly faster when you graze for TP. It's unknown if this is actually worth picking up from Noelle. But why not? I mean, it also gives Chris some extra defense, which will be really useful, and we're not going to use Noelle for another fight. So, why not? I needed to equip the pink ribbon anyway. Also, fun fact about this card section, you can hold left and right on the keyboard, and it does this, which is great because the cards that we're about to see just bounce off.
Wait, Helix, stop everything.
Yeah?
Okay, I've never seen this. This is funny.
This is like
Helix,
a mobile
stop
game.
everything. Wait, focus. Stop. Helix, get the banana.
Oh!
You did it.
I don't know why I made that noise. I just felt like it was the banana collection noise, you know?
It is, if you think about it.
It's the correct noise.
Okay, now it's time for another really big skip in the run. Oh.
Yeah. This run throws so many things at you. So, we're gonna be Chris alone for a little bit. We're gonna hit spam and skip now. I'm a little bit... Okay, there we go. Alright. I interacted with that poster at the same time as I ran into the trigger for that mini-boss, and so I continued to have control of Chris, even though it didn't quite look like it. And I could just run out of the room and entirely skip that mini-boss. Now I need to run into this next room transition. There we go. Okay, so that Spamton skip, it saves like a minute and a half or something ridiculous. It's pretty easy too. All I did was press up and right on my arrow keys and Z on my keyboard. I pressed all those at the same time, just successively until I got the trick. You can try that at home, it's not too hard.
Yeah, the idea of that skip is text storage, which is nothing new to Undertale in general. Just like trying to activate 2 text boxes at the same time, and then you gain control when one of them is canceled. Yeah, no, literally been in Undertale since it was like released in 2015. People have been using that. So, it's only natural that it'd show up in this game.
Lori mentioned earlier also how when you run into a wall, you sort of lose some running speed. I could keep running speed by just like moving back and forth, and maybe that would be slightly faster in this section by like a few frames, but it's awful to look at because the screen jitters back and forth when you do it, so I'm not gonna make you all look at that.
You can maybe like stop for a bit, but then right before start going.
That would probably work. I haven't practiced that.
I feel like it would be hard to time that though, because like if you try and wiggle back and forth and then like start going too soon, you'll probably hit the barrier before it despawns, and if you go too early or too late, you'll probably waste steps.
Yeah.
Which like just might be slower at that point.
Mm-hmm. So there's a cutscene here where Queen's gonna play the carnival game and win it, and then get a gift, or really demand a gift, or demand a prize. And Queen decides she doesn't actually want it, and then gives it to Chris, which is generous.
Give it to Susie.
You know what? Fine. It's way faster to give it to Noelle. I think it's funniest to give it to Birdly.
I think it's funny to give it to Birdly, but you should also give it to Susie, because Susie's my favorite.
Here, very quickly in the chat, tell me which one I should give it to. I have plenty of time to answer.
Ralsei.
Susie.
That's my opinion here. I have never played this game, but I just know
Pretty good
Ralsei's a good
lore.
boy, and I need to have him have this.
We've got a vote for
Do we
Ralsei
got
to vote
anybody?
on Susie.
Anybody?
I'm voting for Birdly.
Somebody put Birdly as their first time chat.
Several people are saying Birdly, so
I'm seeing the most Birdlies, I think.
I am seeing the most
I'm gonna
Birdlies
keep
as
going.
well.
Birdly. The fastest option is Noelle, because that animation is the shortest. So Birdly comes on screen, we give him the gift, and this happens. I don't know how to describe that, but it happened.
It's beautiful. Also, I wouldn't worry about Noelle being the fastest option when we wait 30 seconds to see what people say.
Yeah.
You know, it's good though. It's like saying like it's like when you're given in class an example, and then you figure out what the example's about, and by the time you're done that, the example's already gone.
It's the only result that lets you see that it's a Birdly plush, exactly, as chat just said. It's also the only result that has Birdly come and join the party just for that room.
Yeah,
And
no,
if
Birdly's
you
not with us
encountered
anymore.
If you encountered Starwalker in Chapter 1, Starwalker would also come and join the party. Yeah, they're not with us anymore, just after that room. Or just for that room. Anyway, Noelle has offered to stand on the switch for us. We're going to run into a required encounter. I've tried to run around this dude.
I think everyone has.
We're going to avoid and then defend with Rousey. And if I just sit over here, there's a low chance I can get hit. But what I need to avoid is the ambulances. And that's what I did. So we are perfectly fine. We can go and hit this switch, run down, and then Noelle will rejoin us. And I can just keep running to the right for a while. There's like a little overworld minigame thing where you're supposed to dodge some like balloons, but I don't care. I'm just gonna keep running. It doesn't matter. Half the time you don't get hit by them anyway. I got hit by one there, like that's fine. And now there's another forced encounter. Unfortunately, it is just fastest to smack these mice, which I'm not happy about. Oh, jeez. I hate this attack. Luckily it didn't last very long. So now we're coming up to a setup for like a mini game sort of thing, where you pick up the spin and we have to catch mice in the bin, and then deposit them into the holes. So now we're gonna see one with 20, and someone suggests that everybody splits up to get this done, and so they do. And that starts this little mini game. It's very important that I do not miss a mouse, because if I do, Chris will fall over and drop 10 of them, which sucks.
I didn't
Big
know
time
that.
loss, as you can imagine.
That's more than half?
Yes.
So what if you
Oh,
have
that
less
is-
than 10?
If you have less than 10, you drop them all. You just go to 0.
Who knew the Game & Watch games were so hard?
Alright. Put all these mouse into the hole. And then we get to put the bin away as well. Clean up after ourselves. We go up the stairs, get caught on the stairs apparently. I don't know why that can happen.
Tripped on the stairs.
Your mortal enemy is back!
I know! They put stairs in ball game, they put stairs in Deltarune.
Stairs in my goat game.
Can't get away from them. Stairs
Goat
in
game! Stairs in Goat game!
Stairs and goat game. So yeah, basically just run into Queen's Trap and we all get captured, except for Rousey. She doesn't have enough cages, so Rousey just kind of becomes a butler. You'll see. So we're now trapped in this room, and there are going to be 3, like, little spurts of text boxes. So there's the first one, there's the second one. After the third one, I get to open my inventory, go to key items, and take out Lancer. There was a cutscene in the epilogue that we skipped where Lancer just sort of hops in our pocket and comes with us. And he comes out here and frees us from this cage, which is very nice. Conveniently placed Lancer. We're gonna run out here, and, you know, Lancer and Susie are really good friends, so they high-five, but then Lancer isn't feeling great, unfortunately. And I am gonna spoil the spot point because it becomes relevant in another fight. This is not Lancer's native Dark World, and so Lancer can't last very long in it before he turns to stone, so that's kind of what's happening. In the grand scheme of things, it's kind of a minor plot point. And now we have puzzles that we have to do for really no reason. There's nothing preventing us from just sort of leaving, but our friends insist that we do these puzzles. So I guess we're doing these puzzles.
It's really just for Berkeley lore. I never even thought about the fact that Susie just blocks the walkway.
Yeah,
I never thought about that.
Susie's really rude in this one.
I never thought about that because I just, I get told to do puzzles by Tobert Fox, and I'm like, you know what, sure.
Yeah. I can hit buttons.
But yeah, there's like Birdly character arc happening right now.
Yeah. I don't know if this can happen for the first two puzzles, but for this last puzzle in particular, the orientations of the pieces are random, at least like how they start off. So I just gotta put them in the corner, get all 4 corners filled, and then put this last one in the middle. And there's going to be a cutscene now with the spelling bee. And the last word they spell, the second word, will always be December. But the first word can be as short as wise or as long as intelligent. And longer words do lose time. So you can lose multiple seconds to spelling bee RNG in this game.
Mavis
Geniuses
Beacon
into that.
moment.
Yeah. There's another cutscene right after this one, so there's time for probably a couple donations.
Alrighty then, we have a few donations here. We have a $50 donation from Slosher Whalelord. That's a hard name for me to pronounce for some reason, saying, "Good luck, Helix." We also have a $20 donation from Mad Monk saying, "Glad to support furries organizing for a good cause." And indeed, that cause is Trans Lifeline once again. So if you don't know what Trans Lifeline is, they are a service that exists in the United States and Canada that helps with trans and gender nonconforming youth. Since 2014, Trans Lifeline's hotline has evolved from an entirely volunteer-run operation into a comprehensive resource that has employs trans-identified staff and volunteers in a variety of roles. Hotline operators have already logged thousands of hours and are committed to being a reliable resource for years to come with your support. And in fact, quite a lot of support here as we're approaching closer and closer to $14,000, the most we have ever raised at Fastest Furs.
That's absolutely incredible.
If you are interested, with more information, you can visit translifeline.org.
So I'm going to do something that most people don't do in this game, and actually go and buy the other weapon, and just equip it to Chris right away. This is going to make... gonna make 6 turns on one of these ending fights possible. I'm also going to save here, partially for safety and partially to heal, so I can do a damage boost. There's going to be just a big wall of flame in this room, and I can go turn it off, but that's slow. So instead I'm just going to run right through it. And as you can see, it does a lot of damage, but that's okay. Yeah, Trans Lifeline is a cause that is very important to me as a non-binary person, so it's... Oh, I must have hit a... Okay. We're fine? We're fine?
Nice gaming. Okay, so you hit one again.
Oh no, wait. Oh, I guess I actually do have to get to the thing and have the pawn.
Yeah, you have to get to the
on my
one.
head.
So basically...
I did not know that. I hit another one!
Helix. So basically
Look,
what's supposed to happen...
Soul of the China Shop.
Basically what's going to happen when you go to this pottery thing is the game is going to put a pot on your head, and you're going to have to play a minigame to try and get to the other side of the room without it falling over. However, if you... The goal is usually just to leave the room. So if you go back and then go back in, the game, like after starting the minigame will not respawn. And then this mini-boss, you play a little quiz before the mini-boss starts, and if you win the quiz, they are instantly spareable.
Yeah, you have to make sure to spare Task Manager herself, though. If you spare one of the tasks, then you actually have to, like, play a turn of the fight, and I've accidentally done that before and almost died to it. But we're good, we're good. This is actually my favorite section of the run. I really love Mansion. It's just so many little cool things, back to back to back to back. So here's a little key puzzle. The key will always end up one space clockwise from where it begins, so I know it's going to be on the left right now. So I go and grab it, run into the store, taking a very specific path here, just because it's fastest, you know. So I go and open up that path. This is now the mouse wheel fight. We're at the point of the game where it is way faster to just spare enemies rather than trying to fight them. And you can spare a mouse wheel in just 2 turns. To do this, you need to catch basically as many of the mice as possible in this trap. So I'm looking for at least 50%. Oh, that felt great. 58, beautiful.
58.
And now I need at least 42 to get to 100%.
correct me if I'm wrong, but compared to like when I was doing like strat hunting for this game and like now, I feel like they buffed this fight or like nerfed it or like just changed it to make the mice worth a lot less. Because I feel like it used to be a lot easier to get like upwards of 70% in one hit.
The most I've ever seen is 72.
Yeah, but it's like a lot harder now, I feel like. Maybe I'm just bad.
Either way, we are now entering this room. We're going to go up to this door and find that it's locked. And the key is supposedly randomly placed in on one of these tables. It's not actually. I just need to interact with one 3 times and then run to the bottom of the screen and interact with the table with the dog under it. I wonder what dog that could be. And now we're going to hop on this table and go for a fun ride. Again, the key is still not randomly placed anywhere here. You actually need to clear a set number of tables before the key shows up. There it is, okay. And now there's one more really funny trick that's about to happen. I'm gonna move up to the top of this hallway and just mash enter on these pots. And that breaks them. It changes their sprite to the broken sprite if you press enter on them, or Z. But doing that also just despawns the enemy that's there, and so you just don't have to fight them.
I appreciate just like you break a pot and then the swatchling just disappears.
Yeah, you can just
like
despawn
its
them.
soul is tethered to the pot.
It doesn't work if you just step on the pot. You actually have to fight them then, because they get mad at you. But if you break the pot that way...
enter...
Yeah.
That's incredible, actually.
So unfortunately, we just delete swatchlings in this room. Anyway, that is the... That's the ridiculous part of Mansion over. Again, my favorite part of the run. There's just so much that happens, and it's so fun to play. Susie and Birdley run off to go try and save Noelle. I'm going to take another safety save. And run over here, activate a lever, and we are going to start the swan section. I'm going to use the swan here to cross this acid river. So I'm going to change these houses to blue just by sort of getting near them. Most of you probably don't know what this does, even if you have played this game. What it does is, in a fight like 2 minutes from now, changing these houses will give me 6 TP for each turn. Each house gives me 6 TP rather. I only need to hit 6 of them to be able to do the turn, or the fight, as quickly as possible. But I'm gonna go for all 7, just because why not, and then if I miss one, it's fine. Also...
Helix, got the banana.
Oh wait, sorry, I forgot to react to that one.
There's the banana, we got it.
Oh, I'm being yelled at to hug the goat. Okay.
Yeah, we're like getting yelled at 2 or 3 minutes in advance preemptively to hug the goat.
I forgot that was a thing you could even do in this game, so actually thank you for reminding me.
It's so funny because you do that every time in Undertale.
Yeah. I refuse to not hug the goat in Undertale. Wrong way. I was about to say, I take this game much more seriously because I'm way better at it, but then I just went the wrong way for a little bit.
And that is what we call karma, everyone. No.
Irony. Yeah, just gotta flip these houses to activate some platforms, run up here and do this fun little mice puzzle. Gotta get the mice. Excuse me, gotta get the mice to the houses here. It goes very quick. And those are the puzzles done in this section already. So we're gonna run left, go and activate another lever. These hands are gonna clap. And we get to go down and move on with our lives. I'm really glad I get to chill out for a little bit here, especially after the chaos that is Mansion. So we're now coming up on the rules card fight. This is where the TP I got from changing those houses will show up in the first turn of this. 2 turns is possible here. You can beat this fight in just 2 turns. You have to take more houses than rules card, and so the strat is to just trap rules card in the corner. So, I have enough TP for take house 3, so I'm going to select that. Okay, I got good RNG. There is a chance that rules gives you really bad RNG and makes 2 turns impossible. He didn't do that, so now I'm going to go over here, take house 4, and take all of these, and now he is simply out of moves, and we have won. Very, very quickly. But he's going to get mad and try to shoot the laser at us. Can't do that, though, because like Lancer, this is not rules cards native Dark World, and so he turns to stone. Foiled again.
Also, for those that haven't played it, in Chapter 1, there's a funny sequence where you build a robot, and if you do a continuation file after playing Chapter 1 into Chapter 2, rules card will use that robot and actually have different attacks.
I hope you'll go. I hope you all are happy.
Of course, that's what we are here at Fastest Furs, official goat huggers.
Yeah.
Good. Okay, wow, this run is starting to wrap up really quick, actually. Now that we're done with the Swan section, there are only a couple fights left. So I have to make sure I press don't care here about what Susie is up to, because otherwise I have to watch really long cutscenes. Don't want to do that. Very glad we can skip that. So Susie rejoins the party. I'm going to take another safety save. I have one more encounter to dodge. I'm going to go into this room, attract the attention of this enemy. Go into this room, run out, and it's gone. And now we are making our way toward the Queen fight. I'm going to go for the fastest strat, which is actually pretty difficult, called 6-turn Queen. I actually found this one myself, kind of on accident. Yeah, you can beat this boss in just 6 turns. Okay. So the first thing I'm going to do here is just attack with everybody. Oh, geez, that was... I missed those crits horribly. I didn't really want to crit there, because it makes... If you get all 3 crits, then it actually kind of changes the way this fight goes and makes the rest of it a little bit harder. So I didn't want to be that far off. I'm actually a little bit worried about how much damage I'm doing now. But I can't be dwelling on that. I also need to graze for some TP. Okay, now to get the shield down, we're going to attack with everyone except Susie and Root Buster with Susie. While we get that shield down, now on this next turn we're going to attack with everyone. It's not a big deal that I got hit there. I never react to that one in time, I don't know what it is. Okay. Attack. Really worried about the amount of damage I've done. So here's the second shield. Would like to max out TP. 99, okay, that should be fine. So we're going to Red Buster. I need a Rousey crit as well to get the shield down in 1 turn. I was not even close. Alright, whatever. Not a huge deal. I think I can still 7-turn depending on if I've done enough damage to Queen. This will ensure that I have enough TP, which is kind of nice. Probably should defend it with somebody, but again, doesn't super matter. So the shield is down again, I'm going to be able to hit Queen again, and I'm going to use Red Buster with Susie. Or Red Buster with Chris and Susie. And then attack with Rousey. Hopefully I've done enough damage and we can end this fight in just 7 turns. Yeah, not quite, that's what I thought. Oh well. So we are getting 3-turn Queen, but it's not the end of the world.
Yeah.
Shields come up when she's at 75, 50, and 25% HP, respectively. You can do enough damage to completely skip this 3rd shield. So I'm going to see if I can get it the 1-turn shield again. I got it that time, so this should break. Yeah, even though it had 1 bar left, it broke, because I did enough damage by getting the crit with Rousey. And that's why we need both weapons, or really all 3 weapons. If I didn't, then that would simply not be possible. The ultimate attack you don't want to see, it's just a little bit longer than the other attacks, but I should be fine here now if I just land all these. Yes, and this fight's over. So, 3 shield, a little bit unfortunate, but not the end of the world. Sorry, Lori, I
Pretty good fight for a 3 shield, though.
Yeah, that wasn't bad. I'm glad I at least got to show off taking the big shield down in 1 turn. Nice to have a little bit of a break in the form of a cutscene.
Do we have time for a donation?
Absolutely.
So Scarabs, one of the people who performed for us some piano earlier, has donated $314 with the comment, "Woof, Bart." Thank you so much. That's quite a lot. I was like,
Wow.
oh, We kind of
Wolf bark.
we gotta take a time to get a wolf bark break in here.
You picked a good time too. There's another cutscene that's happening here. You might have thought that Queen fight was the final boss, but you would actually be wrong. You'll see in a little bit here. There's one more fight left. Little exposition dump. Again, I heavily recommend you play this game for yourself if you haven't yet. Speedruns of it are really cool, but they don't quite do it justice, you know.
Which is good
The
for me
interaction
because I'm
between
not really
characters.
spoiled.
Yeah, exactly. You'll see that Queen shows up here in this sort of giant mech thing. We call this a Giga Queen. So, we're gonna fight this. Not actually as that form. We're falling potentially to our doom, but of all people to come save us, it's Birdly. And the DJs.
There's a system in this game where if you spare a certain type of enemy enough times, you can recruit them, and that does something cool probably. And they'll show up in this cutscene if you do that. But it makes this cutscene longer, and it also takes time to do that. So we don't really do that with any enemies. I don't think it makes the fight any different.
No. There is an all recruits category, which is neat. Anyway, it's Punch Out again. This is the final boss. It's Punch Out again. I'm so happy that it is. I love this final boss.
I can't believe they did. Wait. Oh my gosh. You even get to see the setup in the run still. You don't skip the original Punch Out.
Yeah. I want to skip the original Punch Out. We're so close to finding a skip for that cutscene. If you wrong warp into it, you are almost at the end of the room, but then you can't move because the cutscene starts anyway. So it's really important that I don't get hit here in the first 2 rounds. This will make Queen's attacks in round 3 faster, and she has lower defense. Let's see how well I actually manage that.
Do you mind if I give a little shout out to what we do at Team Fastest First here?
Give me a moment, because we are actually about to get into round 3. Alright, here we go. So I managed to not get hit. So you're going to see that this next attack I'm actually also going to use... Oh, I didn't get a chance to do anything. Forgot about that. Yeah, this attack is going much faster than normally would, and there's this like little blue aura around Queen. I'm also going to use laser mode, which just makes me attack a little bit more quickly. So after this attack, we'll be seeing Giga Queen's final attack, and then the fight will be over, but not the run. So this should be the final attack right here. Her health is more than low enough. Yeah, here we go. I actually don't care if I get hit at all here. I have more than enough HP to tank all of these hits. Yeah, like it doesn't matter. And it's final baseball. We hit it, and that is the bulk of the run.
That was a really good fight.
Thank you.
Doing
Yeah.
that damageless is really hard.
Yeah. I practiced that one quite a bit. I really wanted to do damageless. Well, it wasn't damageless, technically. I did get hit by the final attack, but I don't care. It doesn't matter.
At that point, you're fine. You can get hit.
If I did a little bit more damage, I actually could have advanced to round 3, like an attack early, which would have been great, but didn't quite get it. Again, not a big deal. It's a pretty solid run. So... there's a cutscene here into a very long cutscene with no skippable text, because Rousey is going to basically info dump. And then, like, you know, we seal the fountain, and then there's, like, another cutscene, and then we walk to home, and then there's another cutscene. So what I'm saying is, Focus, you wanted to say some stuff?
Yeah, I was thinking that might have been the perfect time when there was, like, 20 seconds of silence, and then you're like, wait, no, sorry, we're actually doing something now. Anyways, I just want to talk a little bit more about what exactly we are doing here at this event and what this channel is all about. So for those of you who are unaware, welcome. We are Fastest Furs. We have been operating for about 2 to 3 years at this point. Isn't that right, Lori? About 2 to 3 years officially under this name?
Under this name, it's been about a year and a half. About a year and a half since the first one, but we started planning a few months before that, so we're getting to 2.
I'll just say it's 2 to make it even better.
Just say 2.
Yeah. Well, it was 1 year, 9 months, and 76 days. No. But basically, what we are here, we are a group of furry speedrunners who are dedicated to building a strong community that is welcoming and open to all. And one of the things that we like to do in our marathons that are very different from, I say, most marathons, is the fact that we've actually tried to incorporate there's a lot of great creative people in furry. We've tried to incorporate sort of not only just speedruns, but also art streams and performances into our marathons, which I think is one of the things that makes it very different. It's like going to a furry convention and seeing all the different panels. So that's one of the things that if you are actually interested in contributing to Fastest Furs, but are not a speedrunner, but are a content creator of some sort, feel free to get in touch, because we still actually have quite a lot of use for that here, and we are welcoming in that regard as well. Note that if you are still looking to support the channel, you can actually still subscribe or give bits, but all the revenue that we get from bits and subscriptions during this time will actually go directly to support Trans Lifeline. Every time we have an event like this, we always make sure to go to the actual, source or cause that we're actually going for. But on the off-season points, that also helps support the channel and actually keeps us going afloat when we do our off-season events. One of the other things I want to mention as well is that that is actually quite a unique time to have done this run and to talk about this at this very point, because right now it is the start of Transgender Awareness Week, November 14th. I don't even know if people even knew that actually in the chat or anything, but it is the very start of Transgender Awareness Week, which is also partially why we decide to do this marathon at this time and support this cause, because trans rights are human rights, and that's just something that is unambiguous in this community, and it should be unambiguous everywhere. It is really important to me. I know both the people in this call very well, and they're amazing examples of trans and non-binary people that are just incredible. Literally, all my good friends are non-binary or trans, pretty much, because they all have an amazing energy. Helix is no exception.
I'm cringe, though.
But that's your energy, okay? That's like the that's like the beneficial energy. It's like you cringe my mouth into a smile when I'm around you, Lori.
Okay, I'm not gonna. All right, sure, we'll go with that.
So we've sealed the fountain, and the computer lab is back to normal. This all took place in the computer lab, by the way. That's why this Dark World was like cyber focused. So we're gonna leave this computer lab. Go back home. That's all that's happening right now. So you can keep going, Focus.
Okay, yeah. So it's quite interesting that I literally had no reference. I'm just like, well, we're just in a computer lab. Okay, sure, that made sense.
Yeah, it's part of the prologue that we skipped.
Yeah. I see. It's just really incredible that we're actually hitting over $1,000 more than our last event at this time. So I do want to say thank you to everyone for donating personally, and the cause that we're donating to, of course, Trans Lifeline. Last time when we raised about 12,000, I believe they said that was enough to get 18 people official name document changes for actual forms and whatnot. So we're looking to get at least 24 here, from what we're looking at, and it's just incredible because I know a lot of people in my life who have transitioned. My partner is actually gender fluid, and they have been an incredible person to be around. So this is also a cause that's very special to me as well. Please know that we here are very supportive of these causes, and we want people to know that this is a human issue first and foremost. And I think that's something that's really important to keep in mind whenever you're donating here. You're donating to support humanity and to help people be themselves, their truest selves.
Absolutely. Yeah, I'll second that. Trans rights are human rights. 100%.
Trans rights are human rights. Oh, also, like, lore cutscenes, by the way. So,
yeah,
the reason time really hasn't ended yet is just because there are a lot of cutscenes in this ending part of the run.
Yeah.
It seems interesting to end with a bunch of cutscenes, because that's not usually how most speedruns go.
I would much rather this than have them at the start, that's for sure.
I guess so. It's like a break at the end. You kind of know what time you'll get, I suppose.
Yeah, like at this point I know if I'm gonna PB. Time ends on the final input that we do in this chapter, which is clearing a text box in a few minutes from now. I'm gonna start doing my own shoutouts. If you all enjoyed this run or enjoyed me or what have you, you can find me on Twitch and Twitter at helix13_. Admittedly, I mostly do like marble roller runs, like Super Monkey Ball, Rolled Out, the game you just saw actually. Shout
Yeah,
out
I
to
found that funny. I
Lost
thought that
Wailord.
was yeah, it was really cool. I was also just surprised. I was just like, what? Wait, Helix isn't doing this one?
Yeah, I wasn't commentary. No, Slosh played fantastically though. That was a phenomenal run. Shout outs to Slosh. Shout out to Midwest Speedfest. That is the marathon group that uh, I run with. Basically, I help organize their events. We actually have one coming up mid-December. So yeah,
Yes, and
shout
we
out Midwest
also will
Speedfest.
definitely support them. We'll definitely host them when we get onto that time.
Oh, thank
Yes.
you. Oh, I gotta move. Easy to fall asleep during that cutscene. You have to move out of the bathroom. That's like it. Then there are a couple more text options, and then time's coming up relatively soon. Yeah, shout out to the Deltarune community. This was like the first time that I was involved with a game speedrunning scene at launch that wasn't a marble roller. And
They did not put Chris in the ball. That's important.
Mhm.
Someone has to have made one of those, like, where the heck are we memes where they put them in the ball, right?
Probably. Yeah, I've really enjoyed helping out this game. I'm glad I'm actually pretty solid at it, because I was like relatively average at Undertale speedrunning. So being pretty good at this is a good feeling.
It does help, I suppose, that you've played it since launch.
Yes.
Or not just played it since launch, routed it since launch.
Hmm.
So look at these graphics on this TV. Beautiful.
So time's coming up really soon. It's on Toriel's last text box. It's hard to know exactly when, so I'll call it out. And time. And that was Deltarune Chapter 2, a main route glitched. There is a glitchless category. There is an alternate route. You may have heard called a bunch of different names. Snowgrave route, weird route, some other things.
Toby Fox doesn't want you to know about this route if you want a clickbait title.
I'm not going to spoil what happens in it. I'm not going to spoil any more of the game than I already have. I completely recommend that you check this game out if you can, if you haven't played it yet.
Deltarune.com.
Your final time, by the way, was 53:08.
That is really, that's a minute off my PB, and I like
We
wished a lot
stopped
of
to
things
talk
and
about
stopped for
which
30
character to
seconds.
give to
Yeah.
for 30 seconds.
That's a really good time for that.
Yeah.
Sweet. Okay, no, this run went really well. I mean, it helps that the DJs went really well. Like getting that first try, that went as great as I could have expected. So I was really worried about that. That's like the major reset point in this run. So, oh boy, yeah, this game and Undertale are both very, very important to me. So definitely check them out. Deltarune.com, like Lori said. Thank you, Lori, for commentating. Thank you, Focus, for hosting. Thank you, Fastest Furs, for having me. Big personal vouch for the Fastest Furs team. If you want to be involved with these events, whether as a runner or a volunteer, or if you just want to hang out, a fantastic group of people. Keep those donations coming in. There's actually, I don't know how well you can see this on the stream, but my boyfriend actually, Alo here, drew a Relsi on the whiteboard behind me, and I wrote !donate above it.
I
So
can
type that in
vouch
chat, follow the
for
link, get your donations in.
vouch for Hollow as being an amazing artist. He's incredible. He actually did my badge, so he is great.
Shout out to Hollow Hero. Okay, I think that's it.
Thank
This
you
is the first
guys.
time I've run Deltarune in an event, so it was
Yeah, and you did
kind of a mess
absolutely
in the best way.
phenomenally. It
Thank
was
you.
incredible from start to finish. I literally haven't seen this game ever, and it was extremely entertaining because A, your passion for the game, B, both you and Laurie's explanations were very clear, and I forgot if I said 1 or 2. C, I don't know which counting system I used. But the
Roman
last point
numeral
I went,
3.
yeah, 3, like Mega Man. 3, it has just been a really amazing time seeing how much you can break in this game, despite it being only... How long has it been since release for this game?
2 months.
2 months,
Yeah.
yeah.
This is incredible.
Almost exactly 2 months. I think
Well-
3 days away from 2 months.
Yeah, it's incredible, actually, to see how much this has improved.
Yeah, the routing work that's been done seriously, everyone is working so hard to help make this game a really fun speedrun. Like, it's really freaking fun. I love it. Yeah, you can see I'm just so passionate about this game.
And that's why you're one of the best runners to have for this, to be completely honest.
Also, Laura, you did fantastic commentary, so thank you
Thank
so
you,
much.
Thank
Lori.
you.
Would've been
I
so
had a
much
very
harder
fun
without you.
time here. Sorry, my internet was being funny, so there was sometimes I interrupted you without realizing.
That's
Don't
okay,
worry,
yeah.
I would have done that anyway, so you're good.
I know up next is my friend Shasta for the final run of the marathon. Stick around.
Absolutely. We're going to be very excited to have the final run here. We're going to end with Metroid. It's been quite a good one, to be honest, because this is actually a category that Shasta has gotten into the next GDQ. And we are very, very happy to actually have him here to help with us to finish off this marathon